The hum of the server room is the only heartbeat you recognize anymore. It is a steady, mechanical drone that vibrates through the soles of your expensive Italian loafers, a reminder that while the world above sleeps, the pulse of the true economy never skips a beat. You are sitting in a room 30 feet below a nondescript dry cleaning storefront in Zurich. On the street level, people are worried about their rent and the rising cost of bread. Down here, you are watching the digital equivalent of a small nation's GDP flow through a series of encrypted nodes that do not exist on any map. The notification on your primary monitor blinks a dull, rhythmic amber. It's 4:12 a.m. local time. This is the hour when the traditional markets are at their most vulnerable, the gap between the closing of Tokyo and the opening of London. It is also the hour when the shadow government does its most aggressive work. You aren't just an observer, you are the architect of the plumbing. Every untraceable bribe, every black market weapons shipment, and every off-book intelligence operation runs through the proprietary blockchain you built from scratch. A red alert flashes. A Tier 1 transaction has been flagged for manual verification. You lean forward, the blue light of the screen reflecting in your tired eyes. The amount is $480 million. The origin is a shell corporation in the Cayman Islands. The destination is a private military contractor operating in the Sahel. If this transaction fails, a coup in a resource-rich African nation stalls, and 3 of your most powerful subscribers, men who sit on the boards of global energy conglomerates, lose billions in projected revenue. Your hand hovers over the haptic interface. You have 3 minutes to verify the routing before the automated anti-fraud protocols of the interbank system catch the scent. You don't feel panic, you feel a cold, clinical focus. You've been in this system since you were 22, recruited out of a windowless dorm room after you successfully breached a central bank's unhackable firewall just to see if you could. They didn't arrest you, they gave you a key to the basement of the world. You execute a ghost protocol override. You split the 480 million into 6,000 microtransactions, disguising them as routine software licensing fees for a defunct tech giant. You watch as the amber light turns to a steady, reassuring green. The money is moving. Somewhere in the desert, a fleet of unmarked transport planes just got the signal to take off. You've just changed the map of a continent, and all it cost you was a slight cramp in your wrist. You lean back and take a sip of lukewarm espresso. The bitterness matches the atmosphere of the room. You've reached the level of shadow director, a rank few even know exists. You don't have a boss in the traditional sense. You have principals, a revolving door of intelligence directors, billionaire tech moguls, and high-ranking military officials who communicate with you through one-way encrypted bursts. They don't know your name, and you prefer it that way. In this world, anonymity is the only true currency. The door to the server room hisses open. It's your lead analyst, a young woman who hasn't seen the sun in 3 days. She looks pale, her eyes wide with a mixture of exhaustion and terror. She hands you a tablet. Someone is attempting a brute force entry into the primary clearinghouse in Singapore. It isn't a government. The signature is too sophisticated. It's a rival syndicate, a group of rogue state actors trying to hijack the underground economy you've spent a decade stabilizing. You realize the stakes have just shifted. This isn't just about moving money anymore. It's about defending the infrastructure of the dark world. If they breach Singapore, they can see every client, every transaction, and every secret you've buried in the code. You feel the first prickle of sweat on the back of your neck. You don't ask for permission. You initiate a blackout sequence on the Singapore node. In an instant, $30 billion in active transactions simply vanish from the digital ether. You can almost hear the silent scream of the global black market as their liquidity dries up. You are holding the world's breath in your lungs. You watch the attack signature hit the dead wall you just created. They are confused. They didn't expect you to be willing to burn your own house down to save the neighborhood. You wait for 10 seconds, 20, 30. The attack retreats, unable to find a foothold in the void you've created. Now comes the hard part. You have to rebuild the node and restore the transactions before the automated anti-fraud protocols of the interbank system catch the scent. You don't feel panic, you feel a cold, clinical focus. You've been in this system since you were 22, recruited out of a windowless dorm room after you successfully breached a central bank's unhackable firewall just to see if you could. They didn't arrest you, they gave you a key to the basement of the world. The message simply reads, status. You don't reply immediately. You wait until the Arctic node is at 90% capacity. You wait until the microtransactions for the Sahel operation are confirmed as received. Only then do you type a single word back: stable. You realize in this moment that you have more power than any elected official on the planet. You control the shadow that the sun creates. You decide which revolutions are funded and which ones are forgotten. You decide which corporations survive a scandal and which ones are liquidated. But as you look at the empty espresso cup and the gray walls of your bunker, you also realize that you are a prisoner of the very system you run. You can never leave this room. You can never spend the hundreds of millions you've earned in commissions, because the moment you attempt to bring that money into the light, the system will identify you. You are the hidden hand, but the hand is tied to the desk. The morning light, artificial and cold, dims as you prepare for the next shift. Another day in the underground economy. Another day of playing God with numbers. You log off the primary server, but you know the code is still running in the back of your mind. It never stops. The system never lets you go, because without you, the world's most powerful people would have to face the one thing they fear more than death: transparency. You close your eyes for a 10-minute nap, knowing that when you wake up, the phone will be vibrating again, and you will have to decide who wins and who loses before the rest of the world even knows the game has started.